Hello, this is my review on the Tronxy X3S I bought from Gear's Best about a year ago. I've used it a couple times when I first got it. Nothing but failed prints. It didn't print worth a crap. So I just threw it in the basement, and then I decided to get it out about a month ago to try to fix it, to try to make more stuff, and still nothing but fails. I contacted Tronxy. They asked me to make a video of everything that I see wrong with this. So I'm going to point out everything I see wrong with it. This is what happened when I tried to make every print. Nothing but Z wobble. I mean, that's a lipo shade and it's kind of worthless. I mean, there's another failed print. Same issue, it just balled up at the top and shifted and everything else. Another failed print of a big light I was trying to make. And trying to make a lighthouse. Another failed print, not even smooth, all kinds of wobble everywhere. First thing I did was, I turn it on here, I upgraded the firmware so that boots up here to the Marlin 1.1.8 because the Marlin 1.1.7, the thermal protection wasn't on, and that's first of all a big fire hazard. And also what I did was got rid of the wheels on the bottom because that was nothing but wobble on the bed. And when I printed these out from Thingiverse to take the wobble out, then it was too tight and didn't move. So I went on Fusion 360, designed some brackets, got some 3/8 stainless steel rods. Right now I just put some brass bushings in them because that's all they had. I want to update them to the bearings, and now it actually moves nice and smooth like it's supposed to. There ain't no wobble back and forth, so that problem's taken care of. I mean, those wheels, there's no adjustments on them. They get tight, they bind. And also the rods that were used to be on the top here, I moved to the bottom. They were all stripped out when I got it. They weren't tight. And the next thing, to take care of the Z wobble, I made brackets around there to the back to keep them threaded rods nice and straight, so it would go up and down even. That seemed to take care of a lot of the Z wobble. And with thermal runaway protection turned on, the hot end, the fan is blowing right across the hot end. So I had to put a piece of tape across there right now to keep the hot end from getting cooled down as the fan's running. I mean, that all needs redesigned yet. And the wheels for the Z are too close together. They need to be spread further apart to keep it from wobbling. And there's no adjustment on them whatsoever to make them tight. You make them too tight, they bind. So I'm going to make up a different bracket to make these wider. So hopefully it gets rid of some more wobble. And also notice the wires on the motor that go to the switch are so tight, they're going to eventually get ripped off, so I got to redo something about that. I mean, I tried printing so much stuff with it and it failed. And the only reason I got it back out, which I regret getting it back out, is because I wanted to make a giant 3D printed lipo pane light. And that's the base. That was part of the base as it started. It went up to about there, and this happened. So I took a measurement, chopped it in Fusion 360, just the upper half, and reprinted it. Then I melted the whole two sections together, the whole way around. Then I did body work and primed it. And that's the top part of the lamp. That was the same thing. It shifted here, shifted here, shifted here. I just let it keep printing because I mean each part was about a 2-day print, and I just cut it off with a hacksaw, straightened it back in line, and melted it all back together. Then I went to print this part that I designed, and you can see nothing but layer shifts. That's how this whole thing printed. Every single thing it prints is not good. I mean, for the price of this printer, I would suggest spending a little extra money getting the CR10. But, I mean, I have not had a good experience with this printer so far yet. I finally got it after all these things I made up. I made little brackets up in Fusion 360 for a nice rod, so I don't have no wiggle up at the top. And I have to make the switch mount yet to come up off that bar, but I didn't get that far yet. And I also got a pie hooked up to it that I'm going to eventually make a bracket, mount everything underneath. Right now I just have the camera taped to it just to try it to see how it works. So the pie actually works pretty good to it. I mean, as far as the printer itself, I have not been happy with it. I have not got a good print. I mean, after I did this little stuff, I finally got a pretty good print out of it. It's still not that good because these wheels are too close together back here, and you still have a lot of play. And with that thing moving around, that's what's creating the wobble of this thing. So I'm going to make a bracket, spread the wheels further apart. Hopefully that takes care of it. Make them mount for the switch. And when I took the controller box apart, the wires to the power supply were rubbing on the fan blades. That was always making a horrible noise, so I took them apart for right now and moved it. So other than that, I mean, oh, the other thing is the point here and the point here, they're bearings. Now, you have something tight rubbing over bearings like that ain't grooved. Eventually, you're going to start smashing these little teeth down. I mean, eventually it's going to wear them down smoother and smoother just from running over them. I mean, it's how that stuff works. I mean, I think both of those bearings should have the teeth on it to help protect the belt. And I'm eventually going to upgrade these a little bit thicker rods. But I mean, it's pretty good now. I mean, other than that, it takes a lot of work to get this thing to even print halfway decent. And I wasn't expecting all this when I bought it. I wrote a review on Gear's Best. I guess they didn't like my review because I gave an honest review of it, and they never published it. I mean, I don't know how that works. And also, for the stepper motors, the voltage was a little bit too low. I think that's why I was really getting some of this between the low voltage and these wheels binding on here and causing nothing but shifting all the time. So I bumped the voltage up a little bit, added these rods. So far, I mean, it's decent. I want to print the lampshade for this big lamp I'm printing. but I mean, it's going to be like a 2-day print, and something like that with a lipopane does not look good with all that wobble. So that's my review. As I keep making improvements to it, and I'll keep you informed. I might do a time lapse and post it of the shade for the light. Well, that's about all I really have right now. So thank you for watching.